Hello and happy Tuesday, everybody. Mary Mayhew has decided she will run for governor. Before she starts that process, she will join us here live and take your questions.
Plus, kids running school buses that haven't gone through inspection yet.
And a music teacher from Wyndham gets a special visit from some people from the Grammy Awards.
This is News Center now.
I'm committed to running for governor because I believe in the future of this state, and I want to make sure that front and center are the hardworking people of this state.
After months of speculation, it is official. Health and Human Services Commissioner Mary Mayhew is running for governor in 2018.
And Mary Mayhew is in studio with us today. She'll be taking your questions, so comment now on our Facebook live stream and she will answer the questions you want to know about in just a few minutes.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Amanda Hill.
And I'm Lee Goldberg, and we have some company. We'll talk to Mayhew in just a few minutes, but first, a troubling situation. If you're a parent who puts kids on a school bus every day, expecting them to get a safe ride to school,
it's tough. It's certainly tough, and I'm going to start choking now. 9 school buses in one community's fleet were operating with expired inspection stickers up until this week. So News Center's Jess Gagne spoke with school officials in Westbrook and obviously joins us now with more.
Sure, yeah. The school department's director of operations says he received a call from state police who said they got an anonymous call about buses operating in Westbrook that were not up on their inspection stickers. Now, the department was told to pull all buses without up-to-date stickers off the road until they could be serviced. Some had been expired for up to 4 months, leaving residents to ask how that could be allowed to happen.
When you're a bus mechanic for 32 years, inspection stickers stick out to you.
I saw it back in January. I noticed they were out.
Thomas Goganar says he put stickers on these buses for the last 3 decades as a mechanic for the school department. He retired last August, but says the stickers he put on were still on some of the buses.
So I started watching and going, wow, they get a lot of buses out of inspection.
And he says he wasn't the only one who noticed.
I had a driver stop me and tell me the inspection was out, and he says, I was told to drive it. I went, you are kidding me.
School officials say the school department knew that some of the buses were due to be checked and they were working to get them scheduled, but that no drivers came forward to report that their bus's inspection sticker had expired.
I'm not aware of any drivers reporting that the inspections were up, and I'm certainly not faulting the driver.
Dean Flanagan says of the 9 stickers that were not up to date, a few had just expired in May, but others had been expired for up to 4 months. By law, buses are required to be inspected every 6 months. Flanagan says missing the inspections was a scheduling lapse, and even though the sticker isn't up to date, drivers check every day to make sure their buses are safe.
Our drivers do a pre-trip inspection every day, and we encourage them, if there's anything that they question, anything that they're concerned about, please bring it into us and we'll get that repaired.
He also says state police did an annual inspection of the fleet in October to make sure everything was in working order.
The safety of the children is the top priority, and we are taking steps to make sure that we don't miss any of those inspections because we feel strongly that they should be done.
But some feel it shouldn't have been forgotten at all.
They're school buses. It's not my automobile. It's understandable, but that's something you shouldn't be forgetting.
Now, like you said, state police do inspect school buses every year, and Flanagan says the remainder of the buses that have out-of-date stickers will be checked tomorrow. And to fill the gaps while those stickers were taken off the road, they did get school buses from neighboring departments to help them out as well, to make sure that there was no gap in transportation.
it's just hard to believe there isn't somebody in charge of making sure registration and inspection stickers are all taken care of.
Right,
so.
he had said it's a scheduling lapse, and they're actually working to put an automated system in place to make sure that this never happens again.
All right, thank you very much. All right, here's a look at Maine's law on school bus inspections. It does call for a biannual inspection at an official school bus inspection station, and the sticker is only valid for 6 months. As Jess just told us, state police are also required to do yearly inspections. The inspection per bus costs $8, which does not include any possible necessary repairs. The first major Republican candidate has stepped into the race for governor. Mary Mayhew stepped down from the LePage administration last month, but even before that, she was showing all the signs of a gubernatorial candidate, speaking at Republican Party events, attending public meetings. Today, she announced her candidacy for the Blaine House at the Dingley Press in Lisbon. Mayhew was a power player in Governor LePage's plan to cut welfare spending, and today she said she wants to keep those policies in place.
And after a very busy day today, she was kind enough to join us live to answer some of your questions, and we want to get right into it because we only have a few minutes here. Simon asks, what is your position on solar policy in Maine?
I don't think the government should be picking winners and losers, and we certainly shouldn't be subsidizing policies that the rest of the ratepayers are paying for. I am all for diversifying.
And Miriam asks, what are significant things you would have decided differently than Governor LePage?
It's a great question, but I have to say I am so proud of the vision that the governor has had. He's put us on a strong, stable financial foundation. We are headed in the right direction because he has set a clear agenda for this state. Now, we are different people. We have different approaches, different communication styles, and I intend to bring that to the campaign trail and ultimately to the Blaine House.
There are a lot of questions on that note, comparing what your run would be like compared to Governor LePage's, and obviously you did work closely together, but are there things you see doing differently if you are elected?
Again, I am proud of our accomplishments to reform welfare, to help put people back to work, to prioritize our spending so that we're supporting our elderly and disabled. And clearly there is so much more work to be done to revitalize this economy, to have a clear agenda, a clear vision for this state that puts good paying jobs at the focus of those efforts.
So Phil emailed us his question. He wants to know if you support an entry-level wage which would be lower than the minimum wage.
Well, I didn't support the increase in the minimum wage. The minimum wage is the entry-level wage. We need to remember that that's what the intent is of that wage. So I would have opposed. I think we need to deal with the impact of increasing the minimum wage. We're going to lose jobs. What we need to be focused on is economic mobility. It's not just that first job, it's the next job and the job after that that we need to be focused on.
So his follow-up to that question was, if you do support lowering that wage, how do we bring in young people to this state to work?
It's fundamental to everything we do. We've got to lower taxes. We've got to have good paying job opportunities in this state. We've got to get government out of the way. That's what's stifling our efforts to create jobs, to have small businesses, to support entrepreneurs, and to attract other large businesses to this state. We've got a competitive environment nationally. Maine needs to stand out. That's how we're going to attract young people into this state and keep our young people here.
Emily's jumping in on Facebook here. What is your position on gun control?
Listen, we need to protect the right for individuals in this state to have guns. We need to be focused on the fact that this is a state with hunters and people who are avid sportsmen. So I'm certainly in favor of promoting and protecting people's rights to bear arms.
Okay, we are out of time, but I hope you stick around for the commercial break to answer some more of these questions. Thank you. Lee?
All right, guys, thank you very much. I'm going to nominate Keith as a candidate for delivering the worst spring weather forecast in our state's history.
Yeah.
Give me something to change my vote, Keith.
That would be one way for us to recruit young people into Maine, is to have better weather than we're having right now. We've got some decent rain. You know, it's a split state forecast, though. No sun, drizzle, showers along the coastline and southern Maine, but over northern Maine, nothing going on. Just want to point out this area, very heavy rain moving in through the lakes region here of New Hampshire. They actually recorded a record amount of rain in Concord, over 1.5 inches there. For most of us in Maine, it has been more of the nuisance variety. Split state forecast, and I said this yesterday, what a rare thing to say that Aroostook County has had the best weather this spring so far, and that continues to be the case. Look at all the sunshine up here, even into the down east area, and it's central and southern Maine that continues to be cloudy with showers, and temperatures reflect that. 67 in Caribou, only in the 50s, 52 in Portland, 51 degrees in Freiburg. Showers continue through the first half of tonight. Dry air driving down, though, from the north, and I think you're really going to like the way that Wednesday looks. A ton of sunshine, and because it is, in fact, June, believe it or not, temperatures will respond quickly to that sunshine into the low 70s. This, for the most part, begins a change in our weather pattern that we'll talk about more in a few minutes, guys.
All right, Keith, thanks. A young woman is on trial in Massachusetts today accused of convincing her boyfriend to commit suicide. The text messages between then 17-year-old Michelle Carter and 18-year-old Conrad Roy were released in court documents yesterday. Prosecutors say Carter urged Conroy to take his own life. Roy ultimately did so. He was found dead in his truck from carbon monoxide poisoning in 2014. Prosecutors say he would be alive if it wasn't for Carter calling and convincing him to follow through with a plan they say she helped make. But Carter's lawyers argued her boyfriend was a troubled teen and she can't be held responsible for what he did to himself.
And on July 12, 2014, as his truck was filling with carbon monoxide, he was scared. He got out. It was the defendant on the other end of the phone who ordered him back in.
This case is a suicide case. It is a suicide. It is not a homicide. A young man older than Michelle Carter who has had a long, long history of suicidality, suicide attempts, suicidal ideation, finally caused his own death.
Carter waived her right to a jury trial. Her fate will be decided by a judge.
All right, as we head to break, Apple has a new feature designed to keep you from texting and driving. We will show you how it works.
Plus, you may have seen this on your social media feed, but before you share, you may want to make sure it's legitimate. We will verify the text food post after the break.
According to the CDC, 9 Americans a day are killed in car crashes that involved distracted driving, including texting or using a phone. Now, Apple is trying to make it harder for drivers to get distracted on the road. I'm Katie Ortiz here with your Social Stop. Now, Apple unveiled the new features coming to iOS 11 this fall during their annual Worldwide Developers Conference. There are lots of changes, and some of them are pretty cool, including a new layout and design for the Control Center. One of the biggest additions to the software, though, is the ability to record your screen, as you can see right there. But this feature is the one everyone's talking about. Do not disturb while driving. When it's turned on, the phone detects when you're on the road, so it mutes notifications and your screen stays dark to ensure your eyes stay focused when you're behind the wheel. You can also set up automatic replies to certain people, and special contacts can be set up to bypass the feature. But if it's a text that just can't wait, the person trying to reach the driver can text the word urgent, allowing the message to go through. So, of course, other apps have similar features. Waze only allows passengers to use the apps Waze makes sure that drivers cannot use the apps.
Right,
only the passenger.
If you're the passenger, you have to say
exactly,
yes.
because it also detects when you're driving. Snapchat too, they also have a filter that detects your speed, so it has the don't snap and drive warning. So Apple, though, really with the text messaging, because that's, I think, more prevalent than, you know, scrolling through the apps and stuff like that, finally tackling the biggest problem there is, I feel.
All right, KO, thank you very much. Coming up.
More than anything, it's nice to see music education in the spotlight and music education in the forefront.
A music teacher from Wyndham gets the attention of the Grammys. His story coming up.
And Keith may actually have some good news for us. That's not so good news. The summer camp can be challenging for a lot of families whose children rely on school meals, because suddenly that extra help, even if it is just a free hot lunch, goes away. So maybe you've seen this message floating around Facebook that offers help. It reads, if you have a school-aged child in need of breakfast or lunch this summer, simply text food, or the Spanish word for food, to 877-877. You'll apparently get a text back with the nearest location offering summer meals. Now, of course, people share messages through social media all the time, so does this one carry any weight? We not only wanted to verify it, but also get more information. So we went straight to the named source, No Kid Hungry, specifically the organization's summer meals expert, Derek Lambert.
We're doing all we can to make sure that our kids are fed.
It's really about making sure that children have access to food they need every day of the year. So that involves, specifically we work on school breakfast, we work on after school meals, and we work on summer meals. And right now, that's our primary focus, is making sure that children know, and their families know, when and where meals are available when school is out. There are online resources available as well. The United States Department of Agriculture, USDA, already hosts a summer meals site finder on their website. So if folks are on a desktop or a laptop, that is a resource. But if you're out in the community, you're on the go, and you have a phone nearby, or you know someone who has access to a phone, we find the texting service is widely accessible and convenient for most users.
Mainers, though, do not rush to the phone just yet. We tried typing in different zip codes around here with no location in return. Lambert says that is because most schools here are still in session and summer meal programs haven't quite started up yet. But if you'd like more information, we have posted a link to the campaign's website on our website.
All right, we'll have to check that out once kids are out of school, see if it's still true.
Yes,
How
they said
about
give
the
it about a
weather?
month.
The clouds were true. The rain was true.
Yeah.
Is the sun going to be true?
Yes. Tomorrow's good for everyone, but
don't like the
it's
answer.
interesting how
there's always
it's interesting how it's been so split state. Like Northern Maine, if they're watching us, has no idea what we're talking about.
They're just like they're tan.
It's been sunny.
They're hanging in
It's
the
been
sun.
legitimately sunny, which is a tough thing about doing the forecast in this state. Big state, buddy. All right, let's. Which camera are we looking at? This one over here? Oh, whatever. Doesn't matter. Look at this. This bears it out. 69 for a high in Caribou today, as opposed to 52 in Portland. You can see exactly where the clouds and the showers were with the blue colors for high temperatures. To the north of that, it was nice and sunny. That's the rain shield sitting here. The heaviest has been this convergence band down across New Hampshire. That's some pretty serious rain going on right now, up 93, and we did have some records set across parts of central New Hampshire. All of this rain is slowly rotating and shrinking to the south, and so we'll start drying out later tonight, and tomorrow looks fantastic. A ton of sunshine Wednesday and Thursday, and temperatures slowly responding to that. So the last of the showers tonight probably exit Maine a little after midnight over southern York County. Then it pushes back into New Hampshire and eventually Massachusetts. Tomorrow morning we start in the mid-50s. Gorgeous morning. The sun heats us up very quickly. Get into the mid-60s here, upper 60s, and most of us end up in the low 70s away from the coastline. There will be an onshore flow that occurs, a sea breeze that occurs late in the day. But I'll tell you what, after the 2 days that we've had, Wednesday is going to feel fantastic. Thursday feels nice as well, with a lot of sunshine again, starting in the 50s and then driving up probably at this point on Thursday into the mid and even upper 70s, which isn't that much above average, but it feels pretty good compared to where we've been. So tomorrow's high temperatures, again, a lot of 70s here. I think we'll probably come in just shy of 70 right along the immediate coastline, but you'd be amazed what the June sun angle feels like under full sunshine. We're talking about a warm-up coming for the weekend and into early next week, and that is still on track. Big ridge in place here. The question, as it often is the exact location of the warm front. Sunday looks very warm. Monday, maybe a split state forecast in that northern Maine will be much cooler than central and southern Maine, and then we drive that heat back up on Tuesday. So Caribou and Millinocket, they've been laughing at us. They may be on the wrong side, though, of the front on Monday. Either way, it is much warmer than it has been as we head into the weekend. I like it a lot. I think the question when we come down to Monday and Tuesday is probably likely the difference between legitimately hot and average warmth. It's not a swing of it being in the 50s and 40s like it has been, but we have to nail down the specifics of that.
Okay.
So yay and boo, meteorological terms?
Those are the technical.
Yeah, scientific.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Speaking of science, Dr. Richard Nickerson, he's been teaching music at Windham High School for the last 3 decades, and his efforts have garnered national attention.
In fact, representatives from the Grammys were in town recently for a pretty special presentation.
Please congratulate and I introduce to you your 2017 Top 10 finalist for the Music Educator Award, Dr. Richard Nickerson.
Winning a Grammy Award. In the music world, there is no higher honor. Dr. Richard Nickerson has been nominated for the Music Educator Grammy in 2 of the last 3 years. The first time around, he advanced into the field of 250 quarterfinalists. This past year, Nickerson ended up with a top 10 finish, which got both he and his school's music program $1,000. But the real prize was much greater, showing the importance of music education.
One of the issues is when it comes to, especially the performing arts, we tend to focus on the performing arts as entertainment, and that's really not what music education is. When you're reading music, you're engaging the same part of the brain as when you're reading a book, but you have the physical action of having to actually play a key, so it's vital.
Nickerson, who is the director of choral music at Windham, could technically be nominated again, but he's actually rooting for someone else.
There are so many wonderful music teachers out there. I've had my chance, and I'd love to see other people get nominated and get the recognition to their programs that we've had given to ours.
While winning the Grammy and all that could have come with it would have been nice, this music man has been rewarded in another way.
The number of former students that have reached out to me, that's been really overwhelming. Well, you know, students I haven't heard from for 25 years, and they've reached out, and that's really been rewarding.
And I loved his answer where I said, you know, why not go for the 3rd time? It's not up to him. Somebody has to nominate him. But he said, honestly, it's been great, but we have so many great teachers. Someone else should get a shot at it. Selfless.
Totally
Love the
selfless. What a great
Absolutely.
guy.
Yep.
Okay, so as we head into break, today is the 73rd anniversary of D-Day, when Allied forces stormed the beaches of Normandy during World War II. And today, we ask you to share the names and stories of the heroes who served that day.
As we head into break, we will show you some of those messages. And now, we'll be right back.
All right, tonight's Brain Drops is about how awesome we as meteorologists are. There's an article, thank you, AP put out about forecast errors over the past couple of years. One stat that stuck out at me is our 5-day forecast now is as accurate as our 3-day forecast in 2005. So that's a 2-day expansion. This, one of the most notable was hurricane forecasting. So this is from 1970 to present. So it's satellite error to present, and you can see the lead time that we're getting here, and also the distance, nautical mile distance track has gotten a lot better. In fact, in 2005, it has gotten twice as good as that. The only problem is intensity forecasting is still a bear for hurricanes and tropical storms specifically. So you will get a very good track idea, but intensity is still a problem.
What about nor'easters?
What would the viewers say? Would the viewers say
you don't do well? It's actually funny. I guess a guy in New York City said, "I will donate $5 to charity every time I bust a forecast if you pay me $2 every time I'm right," and nobody took him up on it. It's a perception thing.
Fair enough.
People realize that you're going to get it wrong sometimes, but
Yes.
not as much as we used to.
All right, 5:30 coming up right now.